In this video, I'm going to teach you how school killed your love of reading and how you can regain it back. So subscribe and stick around to the end so that you can implement these tips and tricks into your life. Because when I was in primary school, year 6, I was maybe about 11 or 12 years old, I used to read all the time. I mean, it wasn't the kind of educational non-fiction books that I read nowadays, but it was more like the fantasy tale, those kind of fiction books. And then when I moved up into secondary school, year 7, 8, 9, 10, I kind of just stopped reading completely. And we'll go over why in a little bit, but it hasn't been until year 11 and my kind of present self where I've started actually reading again, the kind of non-fiction, educational books, those sort of stuff. And the reason that school has killed your love of reading is because school makes reading seem like something that is such a chore. It's like you don't want to do it. It's like a job that you have to do. The school would make you read 20 minutes every day and you'd have to write a stupid little book journal on the kind of stuff you read. And it wasn't even deep sort of book journaling, the kind of good kind where you read a non-fiction book that actually educates you and helps you and you write the tips and tricks down that you're going to implement in your life. Instead, we had to kind of write down what all these fictional and fantasy characters were doing in the book, and it was just like a useless practice that while everyone who used to read in year 6 and primary school, when they got to secondary school, everyone just stopped reading because my secondary school made reading such a tedious job and a chore. And it kills your love of reading. That's what it does. You just don't want to read anymore because you see it as a job and a chore and not something that you actually want to do. And for one, if you're in a similar situation, you're a bit younger than me, and maybe school is killing your love of reading, you don't read as much as you used to do because school made you write these silly little book journals about some fictional character that you wish you were, but because they have some magical power or something, it's unrealistic for you to, it just kind of kills your love of reading. When you see something as a job and a chore instead of something that you genuinely like to do, it just kills your love of it. And someone who I know that's 3 or so years younger than me, they read non-fiction books instead of the whole fantasy tales and stuff, which are just unrealistic. They kind of lie to you about your dreams and you're capable of anything, that kind of stuff. He likes to read the non-fiction books. And my school, because we went to the same school, the school told him that he should read more fiction books instead of only reading non-fiction books. And that just seems like such a stupid thing to say because non-fiction books are usually the things that are actually educational and helpful to your personal development, rather than the kind of fantasy tales which are often more procrastination for you to genuinely get on with other good habits or other kind of work tasks and studying for the day. And this is the kind of thing that kills young people's love of reading, because even if they do like to read, they're being told that they have to read in a specific way, they have to read this amount per day and stuff like that, and making reading seem like such a job. It's bad for you because you end up losing your love of it, and school ends up killing your love of reading, as I've repeated multiple times in this video. And if you want to regain your love of reading, you basically just have to redevelop your old habit of reading, but actually kind of use it usefully and develop a love of it. You have to dedicate maybe start off slow, dedicate 5 or 10 minutes a day to read a new non-fiction book that's actually educational and helpful to you. Just 10 minutes a day to read a book, and it may not be the most enjoyable thing. You may get bored or something, but eventually if you just do 5 to 10 minutes every day, you will start to kind of love it, and eventually 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, reading the books that you actually like instead of being forced to take some random fictional book that you have no interest in from the school library. If you actually buy books that you like and read them for 10 to 15, 20 minutes a day, whatever you choose, you will regain your love of reading because you're not being forced to do it, and you can do it on your own accord, and you can read whatever kind of type of books you want. You're not being forced to read fiction books or non-fiction books and all that kind of stuff. You actually get to have the choice to do what you want to do, and that means that you end up just loving it more. It's simple as that. So I hope now that you can exit this video and start to genuinely develop a good reading habit again so that you can educate yourself and your rate of personal development will significantly increase. So I hope you found value out of this video, and if you need any other help on anything kind of self-improvement related, my coaching course is in the link in the description, and I recommend subscribing because it's free, and I love this community of young tribal men who are willing to grow themselves so much more than they already have.